Here we are. Once again, we have met here in the ring. May the best music critic / podcast host win. And welcome back, everybody, to the best music podcast on all sides of planet Earth. And the way that we measure that distinction is we travel all the way to Ukraine and we go to Uganda, but we take the long way around. This podcast is called Hey, Listen to This. And it is hosted by two dashingly good-looking men who share the same middle name. I'm the one. I'm the only. I'm the one whose AC at work hasn't been working for months, and the next customer who tells him, man, it's hot in here. I might have some words with said customer, Ryan James Kearns.
And I am the one, the only, I am grateful that as of this current moment, I work at a job that does have AC, and for the most part does not have customers that I have to interact with on a regular basis. So my condolences to you, Ryan James Kearns, Matthew James Durzik. And for those of you who don't know what it is that we do here on Hey, Listen to This, usually we talk about an album of music, and we discuss that album song by song, track by track, line by line. But today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, or, somewhat different, depending on how many of these you've listened to before, because if this is your first time, you may not recognize what we are about to do. What we are about to do is called a Discography Draft, and I will throw it to you, Ryan, to explain what the rules of Discography Draft are, because, to be honest, it's been a while since we've done one, and we might need a refresher too.
So, yeah, I definitely do need a refresher myself, but the rules of Discography Draft are actually pretty simple. So we take a certain musical act's back catalog, and me and Matt take turns picking albums from said catalog. And once we run out of either A, the entitled catalog from said artist, or B, the defined amount of albums that we can pick from said artist, we go to allmusic.com and we find out what AllMusic has rated these albums on their website currently. And at the end, we total up our scores all together, and whatever group of albums from said co-host wins. And a little bit like, what do they win? They win, well, 1, bragging rights. 2, they win the right to choose the next artist in terms of what we're going to be covering the next time we do a Discography Draft. And in the loser's benefit, so to speak, the loser gets to go first in the next time we do a Discography Draft. I think I got all those rules right. Am I missing anything, Matt?
No, I think you got it pretty much down, Pat. Because we go through the artist, we pick their albums based on the rating from AllMusic. Winner gets bragging rights and selection of episode, and loser gets to pick first overall. So, last time out, I want to say was when we did, it was either the CMA draft or the CMA Album of the Year draft, I should specify, or Nickelback. I think it might have been CMAs, but in any case, I do believe I won that very slim. They've been very close as of late. So it is my turn to pick a artist for this time around, and I decided to go with an artist that currently in the year of 2026, on the date that we're recording this, which is July 7th, this man has a top 40 hit with his song Chicago, and he has another top 50 hit in 2026. In fact, he has charted several songs in 2026, despite the fact that he has died in 2009. That man being the one, the only king of pop himself, Michael Jackson. Now, for those of you who are wondering, who is a Michael Jackson? Well, loaded question, first of all. But the very, 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 very Cliff Notes version I'll give you. Born in Gary, Indiana, was raised as part of the Jackson family, and also technically, I guess, spoilers, since there's a movie about that that's been out this year. Grew up as a member of the Jackson 5, recorded for Motown for a few years with that group, went solo in the early 70s, and during the remainder of the 70s, he was off and on recording with or without his fellow brothers in the Jackson 5. 1979, he completely goes solo and records several big albums that would reach the top of the charts and several singles that would also reach the top of the Billboard Hot 100, and thus earning the moniker the King of Pop. Come the mid-'80s, he has a rather scary accident, and all of a sudden his image changes, his music changes, and as we head towards the 90s, his reputation changes for much, much worse. He continues the rest of the decade going through image changes and music changes to the point where he starts fading out of the music scene, but not out of the public eye for reasons we will not get into, until he passes away from prescription overdose in 2009. And again, that is a very, very, very basic overview of Michael Jackson before we head into this Discog Draft. A Discog Draft that features 10 studio albums by Michael Jackson released as a solo artist. But despite the fact that he's only had 10 albums, they span almost 40, or technically 30 years. 10 albums from 1972 to 2001, and me and Ryan are going to battle out to see which one comes out on top in this 11th Discography Draft.
Indeed, man. And I'm ready to redeem myself, because I feel like for the past couple, Discog drafts that we've had, even though they've been getting much closer, close only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes, man. So, even though, I'm not the most knowledgeable Michael Jackson fan, in terms of, I know the big albums, obviously, because, well, that's the albums most people know, but, in terms of, his back catalog and, his deeper cuts, I'm pretty unfamiliar. Even taking a look right now, albums like Got to Be There, Music and Me, and even Invincible from 2001, I'm like, those are albums.
Yeah, no, I get that. And, to be completely honest with you, you honestly might have more experience with Michael Jackson than I do, because not only do I solemnly swear that I do not know any of the ratings for these albums heading into this Discography Draft, I can also be completely honest and say that I have listened to 2 of these 10 albums front to back, and one of them I've only listened to once front to back. So I stuff I'll just be honest, Bad is not an album that really registers on the scale with me. I know it's one of his biggest albums and one of the biggest selling albums of all time, but that to me is more of a footnote for me than, say, Thriller or Off the Wall. Not to give you any ideas, even though I know what you're going to go with anyway first. But still, I feel like this is going to be a relatively even match, because for as much as he is the king of pop, I'm not as experienced with him as many others might be.
Well, one way to find out, man. You ready to get the show started, dude?
Well, let's get into it. Let's get into the Michael Jackson Discography Draft. And Ryan, you have the first overall pick. What are you taking?
And with the first overall pick, I'm going to take his second album from 1972 called Ben. No, just kidding. I'm going with Thriller.
I was going to say, what?
Yeah.
Shocker.
Easy layup, man. Probably his most well-known album, his commercial breakthrough, and it's considered one of the greatest pop albums of all time, if not one of the greatest albums of all time. So yeah, Thriller is my first selection.
Fair enough, fair enough. My first selection in the discography draft is going to be his 1979 album entitled Off the Wall.
Off the Wall. The album right before Thriller. All right, so I'm just gonna go with his 1987 album. Hopefully it's not a bad pick, but the album is bad.
All right. And I'm going to go right in line, and with my next pick, I'm going to take 1991's Dangerous.
All right. And then, as tempting as it would be to keep going right in line with His Story, Past, Present, Future, Book 1, there was never a Book 2, by the way. That kind of aggravates me. I am going to swing back into his catalog, and I'm going to go with the 1975 album, Forever, Michael.
I was eyeing that one. That's a tough one. I am going to pick up what you did not put down, and I'm going to go with History, Past, Present, and Future Book 1 with my next selection.
All right. Well, I am just going to go. I'm going to keep going back in the catalog here. I'm going to go with Music and Me from 1973.
I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to take Invincible from 2001.
And finishing it off for me, I know I joked about it coming right out of the gate, but I got to go with Ben from 1972.
And that leaves me with Got to Be There, also from 1972, his debut solo album, as my final selection out of 10. So, not gonna lie, I think this might end my streak. I think you might have a slight uppance on me with this one.
Well, I mean, we'll see. Like, it's essentially like the difference maker could it be like the old stuff versus the new stuff. But yeah, one way to find out. So we'll go in reverse order with the your pick, starting with your side of the board, going with Got to Be There. All right, so Got to Be There, 2.5 stars.
Can't say I'm surprised. It's a solo album from a kid who hadn't even hit puberty yet, so I didn't expect it to do high numbers.
Well, if anything, honestly, maybe trying to give yourself more credit than you are here, but it's Michael Jackson. Again, I might be getting my timeline wrong here, but this is Michael Jackson, the start of the Jackson 5 that we're talking about. So, but again, I've never listened to the album, so I can't really defend it, quite honestly.
I think it's right around the time that I want to say the Jackson 5 were still together, but it was on the waning side of Motown. So I guess Berry Gordy or whomever thought, hey, this Michael kid's got some real talent. Let's see what he can do on his own. And that was the result.
All right. The next album that we're looking up the score for is the best album of all time by Michael Jackson, called Ben. Let's see what the rating is. 4 stars. Holy fuck, dude.
Oh, wow. Oh. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I might have to pick up Ben on vinyl, or at least listen to it by the end of the night, because, if that turns out to be the difference, we'll see, man. So, the next album by Michael Jackson that we're looking up is Invincible, his last studio album that was released before his untimely passing. And let's take a look here. On AllMusic, 3 out of 5. Okay.
All right. So with 2 albums, I currently lead by 1.5. Cool. Love that.
All right, and then I'm gonna go check out the next score for the next album, which is Music and Me. This is coming out of my camp. 3 out of 5.
Okay. So, washing that round, we both take 3s.
Okay. And then the next one is the History album. History, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1, Never to Have a Sequel. I've never listened to this album, by the way.
It's kind of a weird album. It's new tracks mixed with old tracks.
By the way, that got a 3 out of 5 as well.
Love that. Cool. Love that.
Okay. So the next album that we're looking up is Forever Michael, and that's coming out of my camp. My number 3 selection. And that got a 3 out of 5. Man, like like so far, Michael Jackson, according to AllMusic, with the exclusion of Ben of all fucking albums, pretty mid.
Yeah, I not gonna lie, I thought Forever Michael was gonna be a little higher for you because I do know for a fact, because I read a lot of his old reviews, Robert Christgau gave that an A-. So I figured when you took that, I was like, ah, shit, Ryan's got me. But apparently not. Apparently that album is a lot more less adored by the public.
All right, so your number 2 selection was Dangerous. Let's see how dangerous that selection was. 3.5 out of 5. So, you know, we broke the mid streak at least. So
we're making progress. Things are happening.
All right, and let's see if my second selection, which was Bad, how that compares. And that got a 4.5 out of 5.
Not surprising. That's one of the big ones.
Yeah. All right. So your first selection was Off the Wall. Let's see how off the wall it was. I can do these dad jokes all night, man.
Oh, I know you could. I know you could. Yet to see a 5.
And we got our first 5, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay!
All right. Now, let's see if my first selection, Thriller. I think, like, objectively, if I could be so bold, if Thriller doesn't get a 5, I might tilt my head a little bit.
I'd be right there with you. I mean, that would be legitimately shocking.
And we are not shocked, man. So
Yeah.
it got a 5. So all right. So yeah. We'll start with your score here because we'll go in alphabetical order. Yeah. Well, how'd you feel about your team overall before I revealed that final number?
Not great, Bob. I was surprised. I mean, I can't say I'm completely surprised by how mid a lot of the earlier albums were. I'm a little surprised that History and Invincible got as low as 3 because I figured there'd be a lot more affectation for his work more closer to his death, but I guess I'm wrong.
And, you know, shout out to Ben because, yeah, that album, man. So, anyways, so you're out of your team, your highest rated album was Off the Wall, which was a 5. And then Got to Be There was the 2.5, your lowest rated album, but it was your last pick, and, like, you know, it's basically, like, you know, it is what it is. You can only do what you can do. It's a 50-50 shot at that rate, man. So, without any further ado, your final score is a 17 out of a possible 25. And then for me, my lowest rated album, it was a tie between Forever Michael and Music and Me. My highest rated album was Thriller because, I mean, it's Thriller. So, and then my score is 19.5 out of a possible 25. So, the curse is over. I've won. I've turned the tide. I put a W in the name of Ryan James Cards, man. I'm excited, dude.
I give you full credit, man. I mean, I wasn't sure how this was gonna go just because of the wild card nature of some of his past work, but at the same time, yeah, like you picking Ben, I know you joked about it, but that was like a legit steal. Like that was your 7'1", 280-pound pick in late rounds to get you over the top.
Yeah, man. I think at least I owe that album a listen through within the next week or so. But yeah, dear listener out there, are you surprised about the AllMusic rating? Well, what did you think about it? Did you play along at home? Did you play along with your friends? Did you play along with your dog? If you played along with your dog, I got questions. But needless to say, on our next episode of Discography Draft, I will be picking the artist. Matthew will be picking first, as is the rules, as is the way the world works. Any last parting words before we put this episode into bed, dude?
No. I give you full congratulations for breaking the streak. I think this is your first win since Dolly Parton, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, I know whenever I make that first overall selection for the first time in a long time next time around, I got to be there.